It started in 1932, and it was a biennial and then an annual. But it really was it started as an opportunity to support living American artists, and really to give them an opportunity to be seen in a way that played to their strengths and distinguished them from European artists. Over the years, it's kind of had a different tone. Sometimes it's been more thematic, and it's meant to kind of carry big ideas about America and what art is. For the biennial, which is supposed to represent what artists are actually doing over a 2-year period, the themes really came through this research process. So that was how we felt we could best reflect what art means right now in America. I think it's almost impossible to define a good artist very easily. I mean, I think you look for somebody who's extremely confident in their craft, whether it's painting or film and video or sculpture or anything. But yeah, it's probably the hardest thing to identify. I mean, I think being a curator a lot is about kind of intuition, and both Francesco, my co-curator, and I work with artists a lot, and you can tell pretty quickly who's a really good artist and who's not so good of an artist. We just kind of decided together. Sometimes right in the studio, we both knew that this artist was really great, and we wanted them to do something for the show, and we would invite them then. And sometimes it was talking it over more and deciding is what this person is doing, is it important right now, or is it something that is not necessarily so vital. So
it's larger in scale. The biennial takes up the entire museum. Whereas most of the exhibitions we do are just strictly on one floor. It also tends to entail a lot more artists than normal exhibitions that we work on.
We have the smallest number of artists since the 70s.
This biennial has 55 artists in it, which is quite a change from biennials of the past. The fewer artists there are, the kind of easier it is for us.
A lot of biennials have hundreds and hundreds of artists and are very sprawling and intense, but we wanted to make it feel like a curated exhibition and not like kind of an open call where just everybody was bringing tons of stuff.
I think a lot of the work this year was much larger than in the past. So it's like a month-long installation, and we have artists coming and going, working on their pieces, which makes it very different than other shows.
We usually expect pretty negative reactions from the public. I mean, the biennial, it's been called the show everyone loves to hate, and even the really great biennials that curators and artists look back on fondly got really, really bad reviews at the time. We try not to let it bother us too much, because hopefully what we're doing, we're doing a show for the future, not just exactly for this moment. People get really kind of annoyed that that why you chose this person over another person, but it's kind of something that you don't really know till years down the road when you see somebody's how their careers developed, and hopefully some of the young people in the show will end up becoming really, really important artists in art history. We're thinking about how people will look back at 2010 and what they'll see as kind of the most representative, most exciting things that will happen.
This is the 3rd biennial that I've worked on. So it's one of my favorite shows to work on because it's always young artists, new and exciting pieces, a lot of stuff that's made specifically for this exhibition.
For me, there's a lot to take away from the 2010 biennial, but the thing I take away most is a kind of an optimism for artists and what they're doing right now, and for their ability to adapt to very difficult circumstances, and to also to inspire. I've been so inspired by all the artists in the show and the work that they've done, and the message they bring to people, and I think I take away that we're in a really, really good place artistically in 2010.